I've been teaching, coaching, going on 20 years now.
20.
I helped coach linebackers and from 2012 to 15. I was living paycheck to paycheck. If I want to get out of this debt, I have to have another job. I started working for a roofing company, walking door to door, doing free roof inspections.
While you're teaching and coaching?
While I'm teaching and coaching. And it was a summer gig. Well, all of a sudden, before you knew it, I had my student loans paid off. And then after that, I had the Gen 1 Raptor at the time. Then I moved into the 2015 Lamborghini Huracán. So we're in the Tecnica now.
Cool.
Let the drums hit hard, let thunder run high. Electric riff scream as the angels cry.
What's up, brother?
What's up, dude? Welcome in. You ready to have some fun, bro?
Absolutely.
Let's get it. Let's make it happen. Come on over here, everybody.
Folks, welcome to episode number 4 of Cars with Carlson. Today we've got Mr. JR Romero in the house, and an incredible story here because this man is a coach by trade and decided along the way that he wanted to start a construction company, ultimately to lead a life by design and perhaps craft his dream life. If that sounds right? Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So JR, man, we know we're going to definitely talk about the car, but we want to talk about who you are as a person first, right? Because JR owns a Huracán. Everybody, holy smokes. Yeah. I'm trying to hold back. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. But first and foremost, tell us how the process, because you're a coach and you're like, one day you woke up and said, I kind of want to do something different here. How'd you turn this into something so powerful?
Well, kind of a story that goes along with that is I've been teaching, coaching, going on 20 years now.
20. Wow.
And my parents both are teachers, were teachers and coaches. And my dad coached for over 40 years out in Lubbock, Estacado. And he was hired over there in 1977. And then my mom was a cheerleader in college, and dad was a running back. And that's kind of how they met. And so they met in New Mexico. Dad's from Santa Fe. Mom's from a small town called Vaughn, New Mexico, which is about an hour from where Billy the Kid's buried.
No way.
Yeah, it's right over there.
Vaughn?
Yeah. Yep. And so that's where they kind of met, was in Las Vegas, New Mexico, and at New Mexico Highlands. And then obviously he started coaching in Lubbock, and then they got married and had me about 6 years later. And so growing up, the only thing that I really ever knew was, football and sports and all that stuff, of doing that. But I remember when I was in elementary, and this is when, back in the day, you have absolutely no concept of money. You have no concept of anything except for, this is what I see and this is what I do. And I remember going to the Scholastic book fairs.
I remember
and
that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And buying the Ferrari and the Lamborghini posters. And getting them and begging my parents for, $5 so I could buy this poster. Mm-hmm. And I remember putting them up in my room and whatnot and say, this is the car that I'm going to have when I get older. And, and then of course, then you start getting older and then you have the concept of money. It was like, my gosh, how can I ever afford that car? I'm a teacher and a coach. And so, so basically what happens is it's kind of a God sent story. I lost my job at a small school called in Brantford, Texas.
Where's that?
It's right outside Lubbock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I coached my alma mater for 3 years, and then for 2 years I worked in Brownfield, and we had a couple ADs come in and bring their own staff, and so I lost my job and kind of was looking for a place to land, and really had no idea of anything about Austin, Texas. Mm-hmm. And so all of a sudden, my name gets dropped in the hat at a coach's outreach deal. And I was about to go into the Lubbock Police Department, and I was applying with them and was about to get on with them, and was really excited. And then all of a sudden, it's like, "Hey, JR, there's a calling." And so I pack up everything, me, my dog, and a U-Haul, and we drive over here. And I don't even have enough money to interview to get gas from Lubbock to Austin. So come over here, and I interview, and I got on with Cedar Park High School in 2012. And so I helped coach linebackers and from 2012 to 15 over there, but I also coached girls basketball and girls softball. And so right about that time, our head coach took a new job, and the offensive coordinator ended up being the head football coach. And I said, I was living paycheck to paycheck, living in an apartment over there, 620 and 2222. And about that time, I got thrown into this class that I had to teach. I was certified to teach it, but I had no clue of how to teach it.
What class?
It's personal financial literacy. Yeah,
That's great.
And I'm like, you're gonna throw the guy that is $50,000 in credit card debt, $60,000 in vehicle debt, and another 40 in student loans in this class to teach this class. Like, what's going on here? And so anyway, so I'm certified to teach this class. This is year 4 at Cedar Park, and I start teaching this class, and it's Dave Ramsey Personal Finance.
Oh yeah, we're just talking about that today at church.
Yeah. And so what I do is I'm sitting here like, watching this stuff, teaching it. And I'm watching this stuff and I'm like, man, this is good stuff. And so I pull out a booklet and I start doing it with the kids. So like I'm teaching the class and I'm doing the class with the kids.
That's awesome.
So I start doing this right here. And all of a sudden I figure out, my gosh, I have to have another job. There's something that if I want to get out of this debt, there's something that I have to do that is because, as much as I love teaching and coaching, it doesn't pay enough. And so, or I'll never get out of it. And so what I started working for a roofing company, walking door to door, doing free roof inspections. So I start doing that
while you're teaching and coaching.
While I'm teaching and coaching. Okay. So, and it was a summer gig. So I'm like, I have my summer off and everything. And at this time I had transitioned from football, just strictly to the girls side and said, okay, my goal is to be a head softball coach. That's what I want to do. And so, okay, not a problem. And so I transitioned and I started doing this free roof inspections for a roofing company and was pretty good at it. And, so if you can imagine, you have this guy who knows hardly anything about roofing. But I knew how to look at roof damage. I knew how to talk to insurance adjusters. I knew how to do all the ins and outs of that. I knew how to make the personal connection, if you would. And so long story short, do pretty good, that first summer and pay off about 2/3 of my credit card debt. So I'm excited.
That's great.
And so I said, okay, well, next summer I'm going to do it again. And, so I'm all excited. Next summer comes. Well, that roofing company goes under because they operated on credit. And so I'm like, okay, so I took what I kind of knew right there. And I said, okay, you have to be able to run a cash operated business. That's how you do it. You stay out of debt and, working with the Dave Ramsey concepts, stay out of debt. And so that's what I did. So I opened up my own LLC, and I was doing strictly roofs. And then from there, that basically went to, concrete and outdoor kitchens and masonry and painting and flooring. And now we kind of do it all. And so, started from the ground up and just kept building. Well, all of a sudden, before you knew it, I had my student loans paid off. And then after that, I had the Gen 1 Raptor at the time.
Nice.
And the 6.2, and then I paid that off. And I said, okay, this is how it's going. Okay. And then I got to the point to where, because I'm a big Raptor guy. I love the Ford Raptors. It got to the point where whenever I was kind of losing my job and stuff in Lubbock, I had a 2005 red Corvette. It was a C5.
Nice car.
Loved it.
Oh, yeah.
Loved it. And I'm like, yeah, I love the Corvette. And I remember selling it. And I remember selling almost everything I owned just to pay off debt. And I remember strictly, like, if it's meant to be, God will bring it back to me. If it's meant to be. Mm-hmm. And so all of a sudden, I sell it. Well, I didn't know it was going to be 9 years later, when God was going to bless me with that again. So then I got into a C7 Z06. Yeah, convertible. Yeah. 7-speed. And
what color was that one?
It was black, all jet black.
All right.
And so jet black is one of the most beautiful colors that you could ever want in a car. It is also one of the biggest pains in the butt because you're going to get dust over it any time, but a beautiful color. And so I drove that for about a year and a half, paid it off. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, the C8 was about to come. So that they had just launched the C8. So I got really scared. And, in the car industry, you kind of don't know what's going to dictate. You can kind of predict, but you don't really know what's going to go up in value, what's going to go down in value. Well, here you go. I made a stupid call and I said, okay, I think the C7 Z06 is going to go down in value because everybody's going to want the mid-engine. That's not true. Oh, Corvette enthusiasts love the front engine.
Yes, they do.
Yes. Oh. And so I sold it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I drove this for a year and a half, 2 years. And, I only lost $1,500 on it. I'm like, that's a great deal. So I'm like, okay. But then I moved into the Lamborghini. So my first one was a 2015 Lamborghini Huracán. Mm-hmm. Had that, loved it. And, one of the best maintenance-free cars you could ever want.
That was your first supercar.
That was my first supercar.
First supercar. Okay.
Yeah.
So I got a couple of questions before we talk about supercar delivery day.
Okay.
Right. So you did the door knocking for the fence or the roof company.
Yep.
Summer number 2 comes up, they went underwater.
Yep.
And something stood out to me when you're talking about cash business.
Yes.
Don't go into debt.
Correct.
Have you ever had a conversation with another business owner that actually pushes against that theory?
100%.
And what kind of stance do you take in that conversation? Because I know where you're coming from, and I also know where they're coming from.
Yep.
So how does that pan out for you?
So, well, their levy against it is opportunity cost. It's if your money's here, then by means it cannot be here. So therefore, if you can leverage your debt in order to figure out ways to make money for you, working capital, if you would, if you can do that and leverage that, then at that point, that is quote unquote good debt. It makes sense as long as the economy does well.
It makes sense as long as the economy does well. Can we dive into that a little bit?
Yeah.
Because honestly, like I get the general concept, but like, what about specifics?
So you're talking about, even the housing bubble crash, from I believe it was 2008 is when that 2008. That was my first year teaching, and I remember, not to make it political, but I remember voting for a candidate and then not being able to afford gas to put in my truck as a first year teacher getting to school. I'm paying over $100 a tank for gas and, scraping by right here. Student loans are kicking in right now. And so, anytime that stuff like that happens where you have overinflation and that happens and, there's 2 things that get out of that. Number one, and the easiest concept, if you look at, American history, is war. War gets you out of debt. Why? Because people get it, all of a sudden, a big urge of patriotism, and they want to get that economy kickstarted. And, you need money for ammo and guns and tanks and all this. So war has always gotten America out of debt. You look at, from Pearl Harbor, that's what got us out of that whole Great Depression right there, getting to the end of it and kickstarted our economy. And then, but before you know it, so anytime that you ever see something like that, that's what happens. And the second thing, and then this is where with the economy it kind of differs, is you have inflation to where, well, if we pump more money into the system, naturally over time it's going to level out. Well, it's okay, but they even tried that with the COVID stimulus checks, and then we went into even more inflation right there. And so where Americans really struggled. But where I took the initiative was, okay, yeah, I understand. There's good debt and there's opportunity costs where people use with that. However, the safe bet is to have zero debt, and if you have zero debt, then if something goes south, you're still okay. You just live a little bit lower than your means.
Straightforward concept.
What you want to live. And so what we do is basically, my wife and I, like my teaching and coaching salary pays our mortgage and, our bills and all that, of that stuff. And then of course the company, that's kind of the fun money and what we do with that, where we go on vacations with that stuff, and that's our investing and what we try to do. And so, but yeah, the economy definitely dictates that, and as long as everything's good, you're good. You can have a lot of debt.
Yeah.
People will loan you money because they feel good.
Right.
But as soon as people start feeling that tight restraint, the loaning goes, interest rates shoot up out of the roof. And before you know it, you're trying to pay off debt with money that's not coming in. And then that's the problem.
Now, with your stance on this, did you develop this over time and experience, or did somebody tell you this and you adopted it?
I adopted it.
And who told you?
Yeah,
Was it all Dave Ramsey?
It was Dave Ramsey stuff. Yeah.
So you said, look, I like what this guy's saying.
Yep.
I'm going to go all in on what this guy's
Yep.
saying.
Yep.
And give it the old college try.
Yep.
And here you are. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And so now, I don't follow his plan directly because, his stuff is very, very ultra conservative in investments and whatnot. And so I don't follow it directly. I'm more Dave Ramsey-ish. Where okay,
He says no credit cards.
Right.
Well, if you're smart with it, you can get tons of points and get money back.
and that's
great.
That's what me and my wife do. We do the same thing.
That's how you get your plane tickets. For
Exactly. And what's funny about that is, with going into the exotic car platform now, I actually use that concept of opportunity costs. It's like, okay, do I pay this off right now, or do I use opportunity cost because this is now an appreciating asset? And as long as this asset keeps appreciating, why pay it off?
Right.
Let it outweigh your interest rate and everything. If you have a low interest rate, let it outweigh that and make a little money here and push that money and then figure out ways to get dual income.
Yeah, and I think where it could get sticky, something tells me is you don't apply that same principle for a ton of other things.
You can't.
You can't.
You can't.
Right. You've got the car.
Yep.
It's substantial,
Yep.
and that's good.
Yep.
Got
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. That's nice.
So,
now let's talk about your business. It took off.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Sometimes, I mean, the statistics will say that businesses, put simply, don't take off. So, how would you identify that spark inside you that ultimately saw your company go on the rise?
So, what it really started with, where we got into masonry, I was living in Leander, Texas, and I did my front garden border and tree beds and everything like that. And that community was up and coming, and they were just building. I was one of the first homes there, and before you know it, I'm having people like knock on my door, like, "Hey, can you do this to my house? Can you do this to my house?"
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, and it just takes off. Like they say, God blesses you in many different ways, and that's one of the ways. It's like, oh, okay, I don't know this person, but okay. And so, long story short, we just start expanding and expanding. And what I noticed, it's not about the product of what it actually is. It's about the customer experience is the main thing, the customer experience, and it's about the customer service. And if you can figure out a way to do everything within your power to make that person happy without crippling your business, then you do that. And that's what a lot of people have lost today is the customer experience.
It's more transaction based.
100%. Yeah.
Instead of relational.
It's instead of having a long transaction over time, it's how much can I get off this one deal, and that's all I care about.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, look at Americans. We don't want to wait for food. We'd rather just go throw it on a microwave and have it done in a minute. Mm-hmm. We don't want to go out there and have to prepare everything and whatnot, And so Americans are very impulsive. And so therefore, they look for that. A lot of times they look for the one time that you can have, boom, here's the biggest amount of bang for my dollar at this time. And then I'm on to the next thing, as opposed to keep build and stack.
What culture, this is kind of a offshoot question here, just curious, what culture would you say does a good job at not doing that?
Oh gosh.
Like, does any stand out to you?
Yeah.
I know it's kind of
the American government, the Congress, but that's hard to answer, because I think it's a personality trait. It's a trying to keep up with the.
I think it's a social construct. Though,
yeah.
Is my point bringing that up?
Yeah. Because there's many times, like I always say, it's funny. Like in Dallas, you go around Dallas, you meet a lot of $30,000 millionaires, and so where they have that concept where you don't have this or you don't have that, and it's like you're not in this club because you don't have. I didn't even know what red bottom shoes were. My wife had to tell me what those. I'm like, what are those? Like, I have no clue what you're talking about. And so
sadly, I know what that is.
Yeah. and I had no clue about any of that stuff.
Yeah.
And so, it's almost a deal is, are you content? Are you happy where you are? Are you able to provide for yourself? And can you have a little bit of fun while you're doing that? Mm-hmm. If the answers are all yes, and you're doing stuff out of godly type principles, he's going to bless you. If you're doing stuff that is not godly, he will take it away. He will humble you very quick. And so, I'm sure all of us have been humbled in our life many times. Yep. And so, that's one thing. That's one thing that I've noticed. It's a personality trait, and it's that impulsiveness.
Man. Okay. Impulsiveness. That's the first time this has been brought up on this podcast. It's a good time to stop and reflect on this,
okay.
Right? When we talk about hot topics such as impulsiveness, I'm going to encourage everybody to think about that, see how that might show up in their own lives. Because I'm sure it does, right? Like you said, it's a social construct, especially in America. Everything's faster, quicker, transactional, and self-serving instead of like a we kind of approach.
100%.
Which the devil wants.
Yep.
For the believers out there, they understand isolation.
Yep.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Question
from the audience. You talk a lot about character and principles. What did you learn from the Bible or church that teaches
Yep.
characteristics and values. Okay.
So
catch that.
my family, I was raised Catholic, and that's probably, I just had knee surgery about 12 weeks ago, or no, about 10 weeks ago, but that's probably why I had to have knee surgery, because I did so much kneeling and standing in mass. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, but I was raised Catholic, and all of us, the one thing that I attribute to is almost, my dad has always been a God-fearing man, and he has the most unbelievable work ethic that I could have ever seen. And, while, all he did was teach and coach, and he gave his life to that. The one thing that I never saw him do anything that was out of character, that bad, like a bad character, bad integrity. And so I took that concept and I apply it to my company, and I apply that to my daily principles of who I want to be. And so, I always love, one of the things is, if I'm ever in the car jumping out in gym shorts and flip flops and walking in somewhere, and people are like, are you serious? And so, but yeah, that's what it is you look at it as, like a lead how Jesus led. You live in that servant leadership, to where, he washed the feet of his disciples. He did that stuff, and it wasn't a come look at me, come do this. It was that self leadership and self fulfillment, to where he received that self fulfillment based off of the followers that he had from the selflessness that he had. And so that's what I attributed a lot to. Yeah.
Principles. Living a life on a foundation of sound principles.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I say that to a lot of my clients.
Yeah.
Often.
Yep.
Often. Principles, yeah. If you don't know them, it's time to get some.
Yep.
Right?
Because it'll always come back and bite you in the butt.
It will.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah. And you can try to say that it doesn't,
It'll
but that's
up.
ignorant.
Always
to
catch
say
it
that.
up.
Oh boy, I'm really like having a self-reflection over here. I'm like, do better, Greg.
Yeah.
Do better. No, it's great. So, all right, let's have a little fun now. Okay. You got your very first Lamborghini supercar. What year was that?
It was 15.
What year did you get the car?
It was, let me think. I'm saying 2020.
2020, you got your very first supercar?
Maybe 2020. Yeah, it was 2020.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So, tell me a little bit about the process of identifying that car out of all the other cars you could have picked from. You could have picked from a lot of cars.
Yeah.
Why that one?
Well, it was something that was affordable for me. My Corvette was paid off, and so I was rolling in about $65,000 to $70,000 in equity into a vehicle, and so it actually happened to pop up. I have a buddy of mine out of Lubbock, Texas, that I've been buying vehicles for years from, and he happened to get one. His name's Randon Blacklock at Premier Autos in Lubbock, and he happened to get a black Lamborghini at Premier Autos in Dallas, and so I remember telling him, like, hey, I think I might want to buy that car. And he goes, of course, Randon, well, we'd love to sell it to you. And so I traded in my Corvette and got that. And I remember them paying, as an older lady, she had to be 55, 60 years old to drive it. They flew her to Dallas to drive it all the way to Austin.
What?
And, she drops it off, and I'm like, okay, here we are, And so, that was my first one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So they delivered it to you.
They delivered it to me.
And what was it like for you on delivery? Was it like in the morning? Was it in the evening? Like, do you remember?
It was in the morning.
Okay.
It was in the morning.
How'd you sleep the night before knowing you're getting this black Lamborghini?
Like I made a financial mistake.
Oh, snap.
I was terrified.
Well, it goes against a lot of your principles that you've been applying.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
And so I was terrified, which, looking at it now, trying to keep up with the Joneses, with in hindsight, you keep the Z06 and you save up money and pay for something else because that Z06 was appreciating. But, trying to keep up with the Joneses type deal, like, okay, I think this is going to go down in value, so let me dump it, and it actually went up in value,
Hindsight's 2020.
100%, 100%. And so, but, had that car, loved it. It was a fantastic car. Kept it for about a year and a half and paid it off. I paid it off, and then I got into a newer one. I think I got into a 2017. I think it was a 17 Huracan Spider.
Okay.
And so and Spider is just the convertible. That's
Sure.
that's what that means. And so had that one, loved it. And then
Year and a half
Yep.
later.
Yep. And then
I see a trend here.
And then I met Nathan at Mark Motors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
if
we
you know
love
Nathan-
that place.
Yeah. So
They're so cool.
Nathan and great buddy of mine, and I've been working with him since he was in Bernie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mark Motors in Bernie.
And now they're up.
They're in Austin now.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and he runs a fantastic customer service place. Nathan is all about the customer experience. He's very personable. He's not a one-upper. And Nathan is somebody that my wife and I really admire. He and his wife Sunny, awesome people. And so I ended up selling my Huracan to him, my first one, and then got my second Huracan, had that, and then I said, okay, all right, I think I'm ready to move into something more.
More. Because
Yep.
there's always more.
Always more, yeah. So sold my second Huracan, and I went into a 2014 Aventador Roadster.
What color?
It was gunmetal gray.
Oh, sharp. I was
Yeah.
picturing gray. That's
Yeah.
nice.
It was gunmetal gray, and it had like a orangish tan leather interior.
That's clean.
Yeah, and so
God, bro.
so I'm finally like, okay, I finally have the V12. Drove it for about 3 months. Hated it.
Why?
Oh my gosh, it's like a tank.
What do
Yeah.
you mean? Like, it's a big car.
They are big. They are big.
And the V12's heavy.
Yes.
Okay.
And the coolest thing about the Aventador are the doors that go up. That's the coolest thing. Yeah. And then it's hard to beat a V12 engine. It is hard. But the thing is that just going around town it's very hard because the Aventador was a single clutch. And so, the Huracans are the dual clutch. And so therefore you have to time it right, with your paddle shifter.
Educate me on this piece a little bit.
Okay.
Because we were talking earlier about that, and I got a son of a concept. What do you mean?
So like on the Huracan platform, you can go pedal to the metal.
Okay.
And just drop the pedal, and you can just shift, and it's going to dual clutch all the way right there.
Okay.
Just like in a standard where you have to let off the hit the clutch, let off the gas, and shift.
Yep.
Same thing with the Huracan. With the Lamborghini Aventador. Same thing. So as you shift with the paddle, you got to time your feet.
Whoa.
You got to let off the gas a little bit right there and shift to go.
That sounds complicated.
Yeah, and if you don't, you're doing that number right there. Yep.
$650,000 car.
Yeah.
Okay, that's embarrassing.
Yep. And so it was a cool car. Loved it. It's fun to drive. But then, I was already accustomed to the Huracan. Mm-hmm. And so went back to the Huracan.
Nice.
I sold the Aventador, went to another Huracan, paid that off.
What color was that one?
Black. They were all
so
black.
your third Huracan black.
Yeah,
Okay, got it.
Third Huracan's black. And then I had the Aventador.
Mm-hmm.
And then went to a Performante.
Could you explain the difference? Because the Spider is just the convertible version
Correct.
of
Correct.
the base Huracan.
Correct.
Performante.
Okay.
What do they do to that one?
So the Performante was a track car. Oh. Yeah, it's built for the track. It's a trap type car, and I want to say they made that from 2017 to 2021, maybe.
Okay,
I forget. I might be wrong on that, but I think it was right there that they made that.
it's a badass looking car.
Yeah, and you can always see them going down the road because they have the Italian flag going down the side of the bottom of the door. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so. Of course, all my friends said, because my last name is Romero, they're like, "Oh, that's the Mexican flag." I'm like, "Italian, fool." And so, yeah. So you can always see them because they have that flag right there.
Yeah.
And so fun car. It's a fun car, and you feel every bump.
Do they with that car? Usually track focus, they might do a roll cage. They might take out the door handle and make it a rope.
A rope, yeah, I've seen
like
those.
the GT3 RS. Is that kind of what they did to that?
No. Yeah, they kept it very much.
So it's just mainly the suspension?
Suspension, and then also you can also tell they did the ALA system, the air system that kind of goes through right there. They have a raised spoiler on there.
Oh.
That's like forged carbon fiber.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that looks pretty cool.
That's tight, dude.
Yeah. So
so cool.
And the only thing I didn't like about that car, it was a little bit stiffer ride. The only thing I did not like about it had the Alcantara wheel.
Yes.
And I sweat a lot, and so
it's nasty.
Yeah, and it gets kind of nasty sometimes, and so I said, if I ever, that would be the only change, that and a little bit smoother ride is what I would change on the Performante. However, those are jumping out of the roof right now.
Bro.
So yeah, people are big time enthusiasts of the Performante, and they didn't make many Spiders. Yeah, the
Performante Spider, what do they make?
yeah,
1,000?
gosh, don't get me lying on that.
Okay, yeah, just
but
not a
very
lot.
limited.
Sure.
Yeah, very limited. And so had that one, loved it. And then I said, all right, I want to go to a little bit more comfortable ride. Went to the Lamborghini Evo.
Please educate.
Okay.
We were talking about this on the drive over here. What's the Evos thing?
Okay, so the Evo, what they do is they basically took what the Performante was, and they made it more of a daily driver car that had easier suspension and everything. The closest thing probably to the Performante now would probably be the STO, the Huracan STO, or going towards the Tecnica. But the Evo was very comfortable, and then what they did is they integrated the touchscreen right there. So before then Lamborghini didn't have that; they still have the knobs, and so they have the touchscreen right there. So
In the Evo.
Okay,
got it. Yep.
Yeah, so they had that in the Evo, and very comfortable ride. Very comfortable ride.
Good.
Yeah, and so really enjoyed that
Gotta
car.
have that.
Yep. And so then. Yeah, going into the next one. Lamborghini comes out. Well, Europe, there's a big push right now on having the emissions. And so now they went to the Temerario, which is a V8 hybrid. It's a V8 hybrid engine, and Ferrari did it as well. And so even the Revelto, awesome looking car. Like that Revelto.
Yeah, they had one here first 2 episodes.
Oh man,
Red one.
sexy.
It was nice.
Sexy looking car. And but also a hybrid. And the true enthusiast,
They don't want it.
they don't want it.
Nope.
And so what's happening is now the Temerarios right off the bat are, on the secondary market dropping below MSRP.
Oh.
Yep. And the Technicas are jumping up. They're jumping up in value.
Wow. The people are pushing back.
Oh yeah, 100%. So then sold the Evo, and then I went into I was actually being a smart aleck. And so I was with Nathan, Mark Motors, and my wife and I are over there, and we had a Shelby Super Baja, the diesel one, the F-250.
Cool.
Yeah, had that one.
Those are cool looking trucks, dude.
Yeah, so I had that one.
Did it have a tire in the back?
Yep.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yep. And so had that, traded that in, and got the Raptor R.
Sick.
Yeah, and so it's hard to beat the Raptor R. And so we're walking out. We had just signed the paperwork for the Raptor R, and I see the Technica right there. And I, of course, I asked Nathan, I'm like, hey, what do you want for that? He goes, well, it's kind of on consignment. And he told me the number. And I was being a smart aleck. And I'm like, oh, well, if he comes down 20 grand, that's probably what it's worth, in my opinion. Give me a call. Next morning, I had a text. The very next morning.
Saw it coming.
And so I told my wife, I said, hey, I think we have to go buy a new car. And she goes, what do you mean? We just got a truck. And I'm like, no, I think they came down on that car. And so we text Nathan, said, we'll take it. Yeah. And so we're in the Technica now.
Cool.
And so the Technica, what I've noticed over the past few months has jumped up in value. They're appreciating right now.
Come on.
And so that's where I talk about is having all the equity to roll into something, and then having a dirt cheap payment on a Technica, and to where your interest rate's so low where the appreciation is outweighing what you're paying, because the two things are true in life. You're going to pay money to the bank, or you're going to pay money to the government. But no matter what, both of them are going to get their money. And so the thing is that what would you rather do? It's like, well, there you go. Let's have some fun while we're doing it.
Yeah.
And hopefully you have a good CP. By the way, do not write off Lamborghinis. I didn't try it. I'm not writing that off on the business.
I'm glad you brought this up, because somebody was talking about this yesterday.
Now, if
They were saying to do it.
Yeah, if you're in an industry like this here at Redbox, and yeah, absolutely, that's pure advertisement for you. Okay. Because that's what you do. Yeah. But for construction, they're going to say, so you're moving stone in a Lamborghini? I'm like, so definitely
that's what my Raptor's for.
Yeah, exactly.
My race truck Raptor. Yeah.
And so I have never written any of the cars off, I'm like, because, you don't want to get audited, obviously, because that's a huge red flag, and so it's like, nope, we want to do stuff legally. We want to do stuff the right way. Christian-based principles, integrity, same type of thing.
Yeah.
And so, as far as tax purposes, we don't write any of the sports cars off. But the Technica, I'll tell you what, it is absolutely the best Huracan platform I've ever driven.
How come?
It's unreal. It's so comfortable.
Okay.
It has like almost a response in the shifting that the Performante had.
Whoa.
Yeah, it has so much get up and go on it.
That's great.
Yeah, and they're fun. My buddy and I, as we were going to that car meet today, he was driving a Ferrari F12, and right there with them, and I'm like, man,
Keeping up with that V12 engine.
Yeah, because it's hard to keep up with the V12. V12s are fast; those are monsters. and so I'll tell you what, it is a incredible, and I say daily driver. I drive it once or twice a week, but it is fun to drive. That is a fun car to drive. And then just what they did with it, the spec that I got, I was very lucky to have it. So it's all Alcantara, all interior, but the steering wheel is leather.
Yes.
And I'm like right up my alley.
That's what you need.
Yeah, that's what I need. Yep.
No nasty looking steering wheels.
Yep. And
I don't know what they were thinking with that Alcantara steering wheel.
it's cool looking.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah, it's cool looking.
Yeah.
And
not practical.
Yeah, and so it just gets nasty over time. Mm-hmm. And God forbid, I don't even want to know what it is to replace a Alcantara steering wheel on a Lamborghini. I don't want to know the cost of that. Oh. And so, but the one thing that I can tell you with why I have stuck with Lamborghini is because there is hardly any maintenance on it. Like they're
really?
Incredible. Yeah, you go once a year. Yeah. So it's once a year or 10,000 miles.
That's way better than a McLaren, which is like every 3,000 miles.
Yeah. McLaren has some.
Yeah,
it gets expensive.
That's great.
Yeah. Now McLaren's great because they go fast. They are fast supercars. But for low maintenance, and Lamborghini, and I would say the one right behind the Lamborghini, if not neck and neck with it, is Ferrari.
Really?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah. So as far as the maintenance costs on those and the reliability, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, let's get a little nerdy. Is it this era of Ferrari and Lamborghini? Or are you talking like the history of the company has always been good?
I'm saying this era.
This era, right?
In particular.
Yeah. Because to my understanding, Ferrari had a bout where it's like they're just nasty. The buttons are getting sticky on them.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, because the heat, and then
okay.
You spend $500,000 on a car and your buttons are sticky. It's gross.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But then about the McLarens, right? I think they need to get their act together a little bit because they do require so much maintenance.
Right.
And with the Lamborghini, we were talking about the partnership with the Volkswagen Group,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So I wonder if maybe that German engineering with that partnership kind of increased.
Maybe so.
Because, when I get in Tammy's Audi, I'm like, this feels quality.
Yeah, they're nice.
It does. It's like the door's super sturdy and like heavy, and the buttons click nice,
Yep.
And I've never been in a Lamborghini like out of this era, so I don't know the contrast.
Yeah, I love it. But I do know what you're saying because I drove in a McLaren, and when they closed the door, it felt real light. Yeah, and I'm like, if I get sideswiped with this, I'm probably I'm gone. And so I'm not a big guy. I'm not a tall guy. I'm 5'9" and I weigh 215. And so to fit in these cars right here, there's not much headspace. So you better surround yourself with something that has some comfortability or almost like a safety, if you would, so if you're gonna get hit, hopefully you survive it. And so, but yeah, I'll tell you, I'm sure Audi had a huge, if you would, influence, on what they do right there. And so we were talking about the Audi R8 the other day, which is a Huracan.
Yep.
It's a Huracan and an Audi. It's the same engine and incredibly fast. And, I always wanted one of those since I saw Iron Man, Tony Stark driving down the highway. And
that's what our past guest said.
Yeah.
Iron Man.
Yeah, the Iron Man car, and so it's an incredible car. Very reliable.
Timeless.
Yep.
Timeless looks.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Sturdy.
Yeah.
German, dude.
Absolutely.
Those Germans, I was talking with Tammy and a friend about my trip to Germany. And what I learned on that mission trip is that the biggest insult you can give to a German person, and if you're German, please comment below to tell me if I'm wrong, is by calling them stupid.
Oh, wow.
Because that's what they hold in high regard. Intelligence, precision,
right,
engineering, right? So that obviously gets put into the cars.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So there's something to it then.
Yep.
So why cars? Okay. Because you could have done the golf course membership. You know, you could have got the boat, and maybe you do, but why cars out of all things?
So,
What does it mean to you?
So, one, you're going to use the car a lot more than anything else.
Okay. So practical
Yeah.
reasons. Okay.
Yeah. I like to play golf.
Yeah.
I don't call myself a golfer. I call myself a club swinger.
Yeah.
Because I'm a head softball coach at Vista Ridge High School.
Yeah.
And my swing is so inside out from baseball and hitting fungo all those years to where I really have to tone my swing down on the golf tee because I'll slice it into somebody's living room, you know. And so it was never a big country, you know, club guy or anything of that nature, but I go along with my friends and go golf with them. But car is something that you're going to use all the time. You know, had a jet ski. It sat there. I think we used it for maybe 4 or 5 times one year, and that was it. And it was on a slip over on Lake Travis. And I was like, I'm over here paying monthly for this thing, and we're driving it. We're not even getting our use out of it.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's like, but if you want to drive your car, you just walk in your garage, start it up, and you're gone. You know, it's not a whole process. You just go.
So practical.
Yeah, 100%.
So you want to have fun, and you want to have fun often.
Right. And then I've been very blessed to meet awesome people as well. You know, going to some of the car shows and dealing with those guys. And I mean, it's amazing the connections that you make. You know, and it all starts with, you know, like I said, the character and the integrity and being a person that wants to be around others that get along. And because you're going to meet dirtbags in every industry, no matter what it is.
No matter what.
Yeah, you're going to meet dirtbags. And so the thing is, it's about surrounding yourself with great people. And so, you know, running around with a couple of these guys right here, you know, we went to the car show this morning, went and had lunch, and then we all go to Zadok Jewelers over there to check out all their watches, because Zadok, you know, their watches over there and their build over there is absolutely amazing.
Where's Zadok located?
It's at the Domain.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. It's over there, right there on the Domain. It's at the corner right there. You know, down from Louis Vuitton and all that stuff. And it's oh my gosh, it's beautiful. And they have some really, really cool stuff in that store.
Do they have a Sharp Mill in there?
I'm not sure.
No
don't
sweat.
know.
No
Yeah.
sweat. I just never seen one.
Yeah,
Like, period.
yeah. They
I know they're very popular.
yeah, they have Rolex.
Yep.
They have Tudor. They have JLC, IWC. So therefore, if you want to match your hat right there, you know, with IWC right there. I saw you wearing the Mercedes F1 hat, and then they have that. They have Bulgari. They have Bulgari over there, and they also, you know, they buy and sell watches over there as well. So, you know, they have a used section right there. But I mean, they also have Panerai. Panerai is a cool watch as well.
Super nice.
Yep. And when you go in there, it is an amazing place. Like, those people treat you like a normal person. It's awesome, and they are very attentive. And so, you know, and the thing is what people have to understand is how much traffic goes in that stuff. So, you know, I bet you they probably see 500 to 1,000 people a day minimum.
Sure.
You know, it is very busy in there, but it is the most beautiful watch store that I've ever been in. You know,
So what I'm hearing you say is that since you've gotten into the supercar community, it's actually been a great networking tool for you.
yes, absolutely.
What else has it done for you since you've tapped into this space?
Well, I was in a club called Sweet Rides, and Sweet Rides of Central Texas, and it was a big Corvette following, but there were some other people that went, and that's when I had the Z06. And I met some really good people that were also in the construction industry, just like I was, and, you know, and building and networking. And so met some great people through that. And, to where some of those guys, you know, we'll hire them as contractors to come work for our company because they do such great work. And, you know, and it's any type of networking is, this guy does this. Oh, my buddy does this. Here, give him a call. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just using that right there. And you just meet really quality people.
Yeah.
You meet some really quality people.
And I heard from a mentor a long, long time ago. He's like, the best way to network is by doing things that you love.
Yes.
Because you just show up in a different way.
Yes.
You're bright. You're energetic. You're having a great time.
Yep.
So you got the car. You love the car. And you're going to meet all these other people.
Yep.
And look, to your point, it has actually opened up doors for you.
Absolutely.
And created such a nice piece to your
Yep.
life, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, it's time to go have some fun, my friend.
Yeah. Let's go.
Let's go nerd out
Okay.
a little bit and talk all things Lamborghini.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's go.
One of my favorite features of this car right here is the engine compartment looks awesome. Seeing, like, coming up to a car and we're like, holy crap, you know, that's what powers this monster right here. Lamborghini does a great job with that right there. Now, obviously, in the Spiders, they don't have it because in the Spider, that's covered up.
Sure.
That's where the top goes.
It really is beautiful. I mean,
Thank you.
the symmetry, the text that they use for Lamborghini, and then you got the V10 badge right here.
Yeah, this one's a 60th anniversary.
Is that what this Ordini is?
Yeah, and then right over here, there's a badge right here that you can kind of look in right here.
60th anniversary.
I forget the color. It's Grigio something or other. One of the Italian grays.
Yeah.
That really attracted me was that color right there.
And this is awesome.
Yep, and these are HRE wheels, and so
Aftermarket HRE?
Yeah, this actually was what was on the vehicle. However, when Nathan and I talk about character, when they sold me the car, they actually brought the original wheels and tires, the original exhaust, because this is a Rift exhaust system, the titanium exhaust.
Yeah.
And they had all that stuff with it. And so where a lot of other people they'll sell it to make extra profit, but that's not how that experience was at Mark Motors. And one of the things that I always want to do, you know, as a kid, I never saw a Lamborghini in person. I never saw that. I was never able to see something like that. So if I'm ever at a gas station or anything, or at a restaurant and I'm getting out and I see kids come up, I'm always like, hey, you want to get in?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, like take pictures, y'all have fun. You know, because that would have been an experience for me when I was a kid.
Are these cameras or sensors right here?
Those are sensors.
Sensors, okay.
Yeah, those are sensors.
Cool.
Yep. One thing that you're going to realize right here on the front, you can always tell a Tecnica just by this right here, this front piece. So they redesigned the front bumper right here.
Okay.
So that's a pretty cool thing. Also on the Tecnica right here, this piece right here.
Sure.
That's a little bit different. They took the Performante was the first mid exhaust. All the other Lamborghinis were bottom exhaust. So the Performante was the middle exhaust, and then they integrated that into the Evo. And so the other thing you can tell with Tecnica is how it's kind of slanted right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little hexagon. Let me see if I can open that up.
What do you think, Fanny?
Ooh, what do I think? I'm loving the gray with the orange detail that he has on his.
Running through the storm with the blade in my hand. I'm the outcast king, they don't understand.
I'm the second owner to this.
Okay.
And so it came with the Rift exhaust system, which I had on my Evo, which is a cool all titanium exhaust system. And then it was tuned from Lamborghini of Austin.
And then the orange to match the interior orange right here. Oh, what a great idea that was.
So a few leather components, of course, those have the racing seats in them and have carbon fiber in the headrest. But one of the cool things has the little tire design going up and down right there.
Over here.
Yep. But the one thing that I really liked about this, if you look on the ceiling in the interior, it also in the middle, it has that going.
Oh, yeah.
So it looks pretty cool.
It's the details.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It says technical. It's stitched on the seats. I like that touch.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, and there's the touch screen right there. They just knocked it out of the park.
They did a great job.
It's just beautiful Huracán. Like that's nice.
And then at night, you can't see it right now, but it has the puddle lights that go, and there's a little Lamborghini emblem that glows.
Right here?
Yeah.
On the ground? It'll be on the ground?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, that carbon fiber, I really like that in the headrest. Let's giddy up.
All right, let's go.
We'll let you, let's do it. Dude, like, okay, it's got a little cup just to let you know where it's at.
Yep.
Because it's all sleek.
I wouldn't recommend putting anything in that cup holder. You'll end up spilling it. I mean,
a little flimsy.
Yeah, that thing doesn't hold heavy dip.
No. The orange leather.
Yes.
All over.
Absolutely.
Legit with the orange seatbelt. Super nice touch. Alcantara. All along the door. The ceiling. Oh, and there's your leather
Yep.
steering wheel.
Yep, and then it has the Sensinum sound system.
The what?
The Sensinum sound system, which
Oh,
that's the upgraded sound system from Lamborghini. They don't make the best sound systems.
sure.
Yeah, they're not great. If you compare it to Bose, like in the Corvettes, Bose will beat it every time.
Really?
Yeah, in my opinion, Bose is awesome. But you know, that does the job. You know, plus you want to hear the engine anyways.
Right.
Yeah,
This is a nice. What do you think of the infotainment system?
I think it's great.
Clean,
So yeah,
fast.
yeah, they do some great stuff right there. Your different climate controls and
Looks very user friendly.
yeah, very much so.
And it is snappy.
Yep. One cool thing about the Huracans that they have is the auto lift right there. So that if you're approaching a speed bump, you can kind of lift the front of the car.
I feel it.
Yep.
going
So
up.
yeah, it'll go up. The other thing in these cars is down is up and up is down. So to roll your window, you got to kind of
That's down.
yep
When you push that forward, it goes down.
down yep.
And when you pull it that way,
it goes
it's
up. So that takes some getting used to.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Of course, the blinkers right here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, blinkers right here off the thumb.
Very driver centric.
Yeah. Yep.
Keep
Yep.
you engaged.
Yep.
And then you have the 3 drive modes.
Yep. You have Strada, Sport, and Corsa.
And Corsa.
Yep.
Corsa's track.
Corsa's track.
Got
Mhm.
it. Strada's every day.
Correct.
And then what's
Sport.
sport?
Sports if you want it just to be a little bit more, you know, throatier and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yep.
What do you reckon? This just is like a piece of
Yeah.
plastic accent.
Yeah,
right there?
I actually don't even know what that's for. I think it's, I don't know. I don't know if it's just a sunshade or what it's supposed to do. But when you asked me if there was any change that I would make to it,
Yeah.
it'd be awesome if they had a heads-up display. You know,
Really?
the little heads-up display system.
I
you
hear
know.
mixed reviews. Some guys love them.
Yes.
Some guys are like,
Yes.
no way, I don't want it.
Yes, and
You want one.
I like it.
You
I think
like
it's cool. Yeah, I think it's cool.
And then what is skin? Sconge?
I have no idea what that
The
is,
heck?
but that's kind of how you just pull it up and you can go back and forth with your seat.
Easy.
Yep.
I see you're drinking Red Bulls over here.
Yeah, that's how you know. You want to tell them I have a wife? There you go. She'll leave Red Bull tabs.
Sugar free.
Yeah, 100%.
Sugar free. Let's send it, shall we?
Absolutely.
We'll do a quick little lap around the block.
Absolutely. And did you turn it?
Yeah. How's the turning radius on this?
Very good.
That was nice.
Yeah, they're very easy to turn. Very user friendly.
Oh my God, when it shifts.
Yep. And so we're in automatic right now.
Yeah.
I usually drive it in manual or paddle shift, if you would.
Okay. I like how it has in big writing.
Yes.
Middle. Oh my God. Stop, dude. Oh my God.
And this is keeping it tame. I mean, the cool thing is you can run these up to about 8,500 RPM.
What?
And yeah, you can really push it.
It's so smooth. It's so planted. Stuck to the ground.
Oh yeah.
This is rear-wheel drive?
This one's rear-wheel drive. Yes.
Okay.
I believe so.
There's something visceral about sitting on top of this power.
Yeah. And you know, you're so low to the ground, so that's one of the downfalls of driving a car like this, is that, you know, a lot of times people won't even see you. You always kind of think ahead. Is, you know, if you're in a parking garage especially. My buddy was in his F12 today and almost got hit. Somebody didn't even see him. Just almost ran right into him.
Oh no. Oh my. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Woo. Dude, they've mastered the shifts in this thing.
Yeah, and I mean, just so smooth.
That is amazing. What?
The one thing that I do know, you know, as a car manufacturer, you always want to figure out how to make your product better.
Sure.
And so I know for a fact, you know, the Temerarios, you know, that the V8 hybrid,
Yeah.
I know for a fact that they are probably putting up better numbers than what the V10 is. But it's still not a V10. You know, you have your V10 enthusiasts. And so it's just like with the Corvette, you had your Corvette enthusiast that engine belongs in the front. It's not a mid-engine car. However, the only way to get faster is go mid-engine. And so I do understand, you know, the concept on them making their products faster and whatnot. I haven't driven one yet. I'd like to drive one. But then also, again, if I'm going to put my money into something, I want to be able to have an investment and a rate of return, basically on a return on investment.
I'm curious to see how the automakers are going to, like, the lag time Because it's clear as day that the enthusiasts want the V10.
Right.
Clear as day that the enthusiasts want the front engine on the Corvette.
Yes.
The question is, are they going to do something about it? If so, when? How long is it going to take them to get the memo
Exactly.
and give the people what they want?
Exactly. Hopefully they listen to the customers and people buying the car. But the thing is, in the long end, it's end up hurting their business because of if people aren't going to buy this car or at the MSRP, what's going to happen right here. So
Sure.
yeah, let's do the Austin Powers turn right here.
Yeah, right.
Yep. I heard they're coming out with a new Austin Powers movie.
No way.
That's what I heard.
Mike Myers again?
Yeah.
Wow. What a throwback. I'm watching that. I quote Austin Powers to this day, dude.
Oh, same. And my kids in class, when I talk to them about it, they have never heard of it. They have never heard of Austin. They have no idea who it is. All right, we good. All right.
There.
So that was 120.
Dude, it just keeps going.
Yeah, they get up and go, and that's what I'm talking about with the dual clutch system, is that you can just go pedal to the metal and just shift, and it makes it so much easier for the driver to use.
That is an experience for you to be able to get in your garage, turn this on and go. That is a nice touch to life. God dang, dude. That's amazing.
They're fun.
Would you add anything else to this car?
I probably would. Maybe make a little bit better stereo system in it.
Oh, sure, okay.
Yeah.
Every now and then you want to jam out?
Yep.
Okay.
But that's about it. I mean, it in my opinion, it is the most complete supercar, especially for an entry level type supercar that you could want.
Yeah. You get a V10.
Yep.
You get good quality. That's you're not bringing it to the shop every 3,000 miles.
The only other thing that I would change is I wish they would do the vertical doors on the Huracans.
Right.
Yeah. Because
how much does that honestly cost them to do that?
I'm not too sure.
Like you can do aftermarket for like $1,000 a door.
Yep.
I hear.
Yep.
That's not terrible.
And you don't realize it, but when I parked into my old garage, I'd hit it, and I'd always be careful not to hit the door because they're the ceiling now instead of out. So most people watch the door ding. Well, now with my Aventador, I was like, okay, am I going to do a ceiling ding? Like what's up there?
Well, right. You don't want to ding your doors, folks.
Right.
But that's why with these cars, it's like head on a swivel. You're always looking out. I don't know if you're one of these guys. Do you have like the ultimate dream car?
I don't know. One of the higher end Ferraris, maybe.
Okay. Like an Enzo.
Yeah, maybe something.
Ferraris.
Yeah, maybe something like that. I'm just a huge fan of the Italian-made cars. In my opinion, I think Italian's the best. German makes a great car. I think Mercedes makes a great car. I'm not crazy about the BMWs. I love the Italian stuff. And plus, my wife's half Italian, half Sicilian. So,
well, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is.
Yeah, I'll open it up right here because we're back this way, right?
Yep, back that way.
Yeah, of course.
A little strip right here, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course, you got to kind of watch out because the traction control kind of goes away, because,
really?
Obviously you're in a truck. Yeah, so if you're not too terribly experienced, so when you drive these, you can spin out on them in Corsa mode. The Strada and the Sport mode make that almost incapable of doing because, the car pretty much controls itself.
Sure. What's your take on the Austin, Texas, the greater Austin area supercar scene, as you've seen it evolve over the past 5-6 years?
It's unreal.
Is it?
Oh my gosh. Going to these car meets and just seeing, you had a big rally that happened about 2 weeks ago. That
Bull Run.
Yeah. And then, but to see the cars actually out here. But not only that, but to see the normal people own these cars, right. So it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
And then once you kind of get established with that type of community, people know you by name. They're constantly inviting you to do random things, and that's what the car community has really done. It's not really about buying the next car or selling the next car or how fast you can go. It's more along the lines of, oh yeah, I like that guy. He's real nice. Hey, do you like to go shooting? Oh yeah, I shoot too. Or what else do you do? Do you do this? Yeah, and you know, before you know it, you know, you're always kind of getting together with these guys to have a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
With the Austin car clubs is, you know, you get into the right ones and it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. Even though it's awesome to be around that scene, you know, it's still really dangerous.
Sure.
You know, it's still really dangerous.
Yeah, you want to be a part of a car club that has class,
Yes.
that has taste, that might even have a mission to like inspire
Right.
public
Right.
to do good,
Mhm.
stuff like that. Yeah, because those are out there.
Yep.
But to your point, there's also car clubs that are just kind of like, for lack of a better term, they're hood.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So
And the other thing is, it's, you know, try to get in with guys that don't one up you. That are trying to one up you, you know. Even this morning, I had a gentleman come up to me and say, "Well, how do you like your overpriced Volkswagen?"
come on.
And I'm like, "Well, I'd like to see you get in that because I bet you can't even get into that thing." You know,
You're out of shape, bro.
Yeah.
Can
And
you
so
walk, bro?
I'm like it doesn't matter what car you have. Are you happy? Are you happy? Are you self-fulfilled? And are you content? If the answer is yes, then it really doesn't matter.
It's about the spirit, the essence.
All right, there's 90 right there in sports mode.
Oh, dude, I noticed the difference. Oh my God! Just when you thought it couldn't get any better.
Yep.
Holy crap, dude! Is the suspension stiffer right now?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
You can feel it.
yeah. Slap me sideways and call me Nelly, bro. What the hell is that?
Like I said, this is my 5th Huracan. You can actually tell the difference in the different ones. You know, if you start driving them, you can really like, oh my gosh, this is a completely different car than the Lamborghini Evo. It's a completely different vehicle.
That's crazy. I would not expect that. I'll tell you what, this exhaust, man. I know I said it before, but it's hitting all the right notes.
All right, you want to drive it?
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But JR over here is letting me drive his Lamborghini Huracán Tecnica. It's my first Lamborghini I'm ever driving in my life. It is a very special day. I'm so grateful to be out here. Thankful for people like JR. Keep an eye out for the new episode on Carlson coming out this Wednesday. Let's go, baby.